Hello, viewers. In this edition of Fellowship Varta, we introduce you to Miss Istuti Srivastava. She is a PhD student and has just received Indo-German Industrial Exposure Fellowship. Istuti, it is very good. You got it at doctoral stage. Congratulations. What was your
Thank you.
experience of working in German industry? I'm asking as a research student, full-time research student, when you get exposed to industry, how do you feel about that?
So first of all, thank you so much, sir, for inviting me. And like working with German industry has been like not less than an eye opener for me. I worked in Berlin, Germany, Berlin, and I worked at DHI under Dr. Carlos. So working like coming from the academic environment and like go beyond my academic learnings, industry has been like they are more towards deliverables, not just the theories and building new theories. So like they what I learned being like more organized, like Germans being very punctual, being more organized, being more straightforward, that really helped me to align my research as a researcher, like what we like struggle from starting, how to structure our research and how to like make it more relevant to the real world. So that's how industry literally like going to an industry and industrial setup, it really helped me to take my academic theories directly to industrial setup and understand real world challenges.
Yeah, in the academic world, there is a lot of liberty of doing your research at your own pace. Whereas in industry, two things are very essential. One is time. You need to be
Yeah.
time competitive and you need to be cost effective because the ultimate goal is to make profit. So that is something I always feel that students, especially STEM students, must get industry exposure. Now, Suti, if you could tell us about your journey, like how did you prepare for this fellowship? Where did you get idea from? What was your initial preparation? What is the kind of competition we are having this fellowship?
So basically, what fellowship I got, that is industrial IGST fellowship, that is PhD industrial exposure fellowship. So here we had like we have to choose one of our objective and how like we have to understand one of the industries which is already in Germany, and we have to relate first of all understand the industrial context, how what are their main aims, objectives, and how it is aligning with our research. So what I did, I was using one modeling software that is called finite element flow model. And in India, I've been already working with DHI in India, and that's how we approached Dr. Carlos in Germany, and he is like a product head at like DHI. So we understood first. We had like one like just like meeting to just catch up and how we can like first of all he was interested because I was already using FeeFlow from like I have been trained with that software. So first we understood like he understood my PhD objectives, and the crucial part of this fellowship is that you have to take one of your objectives as to work with the industry, one of your PhD objectives. So that's how I aligned my objectives and my aims to the industrial context, how they can help me in my object like getting my like deliverables what I'm planning to. So and like competition wise, obviously I mean first of all it has some limitations, some age criteria is there for this fellowship, and then you should have completed 2 years for this fellowship. And there so it's better first you go through the website properly, read what are the basic requirements and the limitations of this fellowship, and then how you can align your objective. And then if your university already has some collaboration with some industry, it's better you like because they are more approachable to you for that. And even IGSTC website also has they have also listed so many industries which like former fellows already have like collaborated, so they can that can also help.
I think that's a very important takeaway message. You should not have a departure in terms of research when you are choosing an industrial partner. In fact, you should choose an industry relevant for your research and then work out a
Yeah.
topic. That is very important. Now, illustrating why they are preferring third year or second year guy, because first year fellow is quite interested in settling the problem, the PhD objective. And
Right.
sometimes they are engaged in coursework, sometimes they are still learning the art of doing research. So by the time third year is ideal because they are still far from submission.
Yes.
So that is where this exposure could probably help. And now you could be more optimistic in
Yeah, yeah.
realizing your remaining goals within PhD. Isuti, tell us, you are working in water. So primarily you have
Yes.
worked in modeling, and how we could predict water, especially groundwater. Uh, we are having a lot of challenges in several Indian cities, and how your study could help in better prediction and of the groundwater availability, and also if possible of the quality, and if your German exposure in any way help you in understanding this phenomena much better.
Yeah, I mean, German experience has been, yeah, it was really very much helpful for me because I directly worked in in DHI where directly developers were there who have already written the codes for the software. So it really helped me to understand the intricacies of that software, very like how we can, this we lack back here in our institution, like directly working with the developers. It really helped me and how the modeling works and how it really help in understanding groundwater. So basically modeling in very layman text, if I would say, that is just mimicking the real physical world system. So that's how we do. And groundwater being very unseen water, like we can't see it from our bare eyes. So that's how modeling works. It we take all the factors, all the parameters what really influences groundwater below ground, and we input it in a model, and we simulate with multiple numerical formulas and equations. So that's how I'm working. So I'm working on there transient is like into multiple time situations, how the water has been changing, how the groundwater flow has been changing. And what I'm working in Haryana, that is already like groundwater totally depleted region. So I'm using like that is agricultural dominant region. So how the over pumping and recharge and the climate scenarios have been influencing the groundwater flow and its depletion, and in the coming future how it's gonna impact. So with recent IPCC scenarios, we have like simulated multiple future predictions, and that's how we can plan for multiple sustainable policies for the region.
Now, when you are talking about studying, calculating the amount of groundwater, modeling it, does it also help in recharge planning? Now, which
Yeah.
area needs more planning and how recharge is being done?
Yeah, so basically this groundwater modeling itself has like we put multiple subsurface properties. So first it calculates how much total balance is there, and we understand from like the flow direction of the groundwater. So we can actually simulate how much recharge is happening right now and how much rate with multiple climatic conditions, or if we plan some recharge structures in the region, how it will simulate or how it will better the groundwater situation in the future. So with modeling we can actually plan and simulate with multiple
You
scenarios.
have also worked, Stuti, in water pollution, especially studying the arsenic and its impact on plants and human being. So that was done in UP, I suppose. Uh,
Yes.
so what is the situation? How safe is municipal water in those areas?
Yeah. So, sir, there was first of all, UP is very much highly contaminated with arsenic and fluoride. So we used to have like so many like very high fluoride contamination. Arsenic was there. So with arsenic, and what I saw with the municipal water supply is the filtration system is only is installed at the source, but it can get contaminated during the travel to the homes, and maybe during like at the delivery system. So that was a major gap or major problem we are having, that maybe the leakage of the pipes is there and it gets contaminated when it is delivered to the homes. So that was the major issues, like regular maintenance of the pipelines, and like even the awareness among the people if our water is clean or not. that was also one of the major problem.
Stuti, can you suggest us that how future aspirant of industrial fellowship, of course, today Germany is one country, but tomorrow there may be many such countries who are offering it. So
Yeah.
how they can prepare their applications, and what are your suggestions to them? What they should do over there, what they should not do over there? Your suggestions.
Okay. In German context, what should we
No,
do
you can
there?
share your experience from your experience, what you have observed to be done and to not to be done.
Yeah, I mean, first, coming from the academy background, we actually feel very hesitant to go to the industrial, setup. So it's better to take yourself out of that comfort zone of academics, and just, don't limit yourself just to the, into the university. Just go beyond all these limitations, and through industrial collaborations, actually, we can make our research theories more impactful and relevant when we actually go and see how the real world projects are working. So it actually develop our soft skills and even the technical skills. Also, it develops, the sense of teamwork in us, and we embrace the real world challenges. And how you can approach the application, first of all, I mean, it's better to first properly go through the IGSTC website, whatever limitations and whatever expectations are there. All the documents are there. How to prepare a proposal, they already have every format. So, and what the major approach what I had, because it's very new and there was not much of the information about this fellowship. So I actually approached the former fellowship holders who are already, like, you can find them from the IGSTC website, and I already approached to them how they have prepared. And going to a some like different country, and to work in a different setup, it takes you to out of your comfort zone, but it really exposed to you, different cultural experience. And I really loved what I really loved about Germans. They are very punctual, they are very, straightforward, very like transparent, very, like very efficient. It's just like they have their work life balance. So this quality really, opened my mind. And just I now I actually trying to, but how I can make, like, balance my work life balance. So
Yeah.
yeah, it
So
really
one
helped
of
me.
the purpose of these fellowship is to learn about best practices and bring it home. Friends,
Yeah.
she has got an industrial fellowship to Germany. There are several fellowship at doctoral level, which allows you to go for a limited period. It could be 2 months to 6 months, and you can augment your PhD with these exposure. And as Stuti mentioned, don't take a major departure of goals. In fact, whatever you do during these exposure visits, they should be in align with your PhD targets, your PhD goals. And it should help you with more exposure, better equipment facilities, a different way of thinking or approaching. And this is how these fellowships are meant to be. And thank you, Stuti, for sharing your experience. And I'm sure our audience would appreciate your gesture. And as she has advised, it is always good to learn from the experience of those earlier awardees. And feel free, because on the IGSTC website, earlier awardees' names and their contacts are mentioned. So you could reach out to them and see if they're in your area, learn the finer tricks, and take it forward. All the best. Thank you, Stuti, for sharing this thing.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.